Hello everybody and welcome to our expo from Startup Creasphere of Batch 4. We're really excited to welcome you for our virtual expo this time and thank you all for joining our event today. Before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Friederike Rohr. I'm the director of the healthcare program and head of the Munich office here in Munich. And I will be the moderator of today's event and I will guide you through the entire event. So this is part of our Summer Summit, and today with this expo we kick off our Summer Summit on the first day. As you know, we have 3 verticals here in Munich, and tomorrow we have the expos of InsurTech and Retail, and we are more than happy to invite you for that part as well. Thank you all for joining today. Before we start, we would like to guide you through our housekeeping rules. I'm sure since you all dialed into Zoom and we're all familiar with Zoom already, you're more than familiar with the rules, but just to refresh our minds. We have active and passive participants. And for the active participants, we would like to ask you to please be on time for your dedicated time slot, to please mute yourself and turn off your camera when you're not speaking, and to unmute yourself and to turn your camera on when you're speaking. Please also be so kind that before you share your screen for your slides, if you have slides, to quickly show your video and say a few sentences about yourself. For all the other participants, also thank you for joining, and we would also like to encourage you to make this as interactive as possible. The chat box is your friend and not a distraction, and we would like to ask you to ask all kinds of technical questions through the Zoom chat function on the right. We do want you also to engage in our Q&A for the startup questions, as well for the part of the executive questions, and to please vote with the poll function with the best virtual pitch award, which I will go to right now. So we have a couple of highlights in today's expo, and since we cannot be here together in person, we have come up with a couple of things. First thing is we have an event app, so please take out your smartphone and scan the QR code of the app and download the app to join the app and our event. You will have an overview of all attendees from this event, which gives you a great way to alternatively network together. You can ask all questions through the Slido in the app function to ask questions to the startups. Generally, you can also see all the agenda points of this event and of the event tomorrow. In case you do not want to download the app, you can still engage and be interactive with this event and ask your questions through Slido and put in the code #SCB4 to be able to ask questions to the startups. Another highlight we have is Remo, our networking tool, which we will all be jumping to right after this event. Unfortunately, we cannot join together for some drinks in our big event space here in the office, and therefore we would like to make this as vivid as possible and meet in the Remo networking tool, which is a virtual way to network together. We will share more information at the end of this event, and please, we will also put the link in the chat function for you to join us there. All the startups will be participating at Remo, and you can join their tables in Remo, as you can see here on the screen, and you can network and talk to each other there as well. Another highlight we have, and we are very thankful for this, if you have been to our expo from batch 3, we had Olivia Hartl-Spiegelbauer from Roche there, who is an artist as well as the group leader DSP development, and who was sketching on a scribble board, as you can see here in our batch 3 expo live. Today, thank you very much, Olivia, you will also be joining us and scribble this event digitally. So during our break, Olivia will show how far she has come during the event to scribble on her iPad. And we're more than happy to share the result at the end as well. So thank you very much for helping out and for making this an interactive event. A great announcement for today. As you know, we have 6 partners on the platform here in Munich at Startup Creasphere. I'm happy to announce that we have a new member to the Startup Creasphere family and platform here. I'd like to announce our new partnership with Microsoft starting as of today. We're very excited to have you on board, and hopefully meeting you in person soon as well. Microsoft will be joining us and helping us also to have a new insight within also the technological field and support our startups from that angle as well. So welcome on board and thank you for joining the Startup Creasphere platform and helping us with our mission to transform healthcare together. So now, briefly talking about the agenda, I'm starting with the opening remarks, followed by opening remarks from Dr. Christoph Franz, Chairman of the Board of Roche, followed by the introduction from Dr. Jochen Holebaus from Roche, followed by the Roche startup pitches, including a video from the pilot owners and the startups where they have both shown what they have done during the current batch, which we are finalizing today and celebrating today with this event. Afterwards, we have a new feature which is called Ask the Executive with Dr. Frank Sieben, who will also be answering questions that you can fill in through Slido, and I will be moderating this part of the event. Then we have a small break where we will show our Expo Batch 3 video, as well as the status of the scribble board from Olivia, followed by the introduction from Sanofi, the Sanofi pitches with the pilot owners and the startups, including also one startup from our Singapore program joining us today, especially for you at this late time of the day, followed by an introduction of our partner Lonza, a keynote from our new partner Microsoft, and some closing remarks, and then we hope to see you all virtually at our networking mixer at Remo. But before we start with all of this, for everyone who's new to our concept and what we do at Plug and Play, I'd like to give you a brief overview of who we are and what we do. So we at Plug and Play are an innovation platform with the most active VC that we are globally. Originally, we have started to rent out office space, as you could have seen, as you saw in the slide before, where one of our first tenants and first touch points with the startups was Google until they became too big and they actually had to move out. Our headquarters in Silicon Valley, and we have started as a VC. We're currently the most active VC in early stage investment. Last year, we have made over 300 investments alone. And on top of our VC activities, we're also hosting innovation platforms and accelerator programs across the globe and all kind of industries you can think of. So we are clustered in so-called verticals. And within these verticals, we look for the right startups for our business units, partners' needs, to help them to support their internal innovation strategy and to look for new solutions that foster and help their businesses. Here in Munich, we have 3 verticals present: insurance, retail, and health. These are all the locations we have across the globe. As you can see, we are present in nearly all continents and are a very international company, but we also believe that innovation has to happen in the regions as well. So we bring in business units from across the globe and help them with their innovation activities in their locations. Here in Munich, we have now 7 partners, including Roche Diagnostics, Sanofi Consumer Healthcare, Lonza, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Microsoft, University Clinic Schleswig-Holstein, and Sana Clinics. And together, we have the mission to transform healthcare together. But now talking about this batch, so what have we done until today, from March till now, in this virtual format due to the current circumstances? We had 7 startups in the program with 7 pilot projects. We have still hosted over 10 events virtually with over 20 mentors that were matchmaking with our startups to support them also on top of their pilot projects. We've made over 20 introductions in 3 deep dive weeks with 6 partners, and we have startups that are very international. So again, thank you for dialing in from so many different countries and time zones. We have 5 countries present with these 7 startups. So thank you all for participating and congratulations to joining us for batch 4 and for finalizing this big program with us together with the big expo today. But now the question is, how did we come down to these 7 startups? It's actually a very long process by our ventures team and the dedicated business units from our corporate partners, where our corporate partners share their business units' needs with us, and we go and find the right startups for their needs. In an iterative process of 4 months, our ventures team, together with the core teams from our partners, look for the right startups that fit exactly their needs. And afterwards, in this process, after the introduction to the business units choose the exact right startup for their needs to invite to the startup program with a kickoff event. And then we have this result with these 7 startups and 7 business units and 7 projects. So these 7 startups are chosen, and it's all about the startups today. So congratulations again for being chosen, and thank you for joining us and for again sharing today what you have done in the batch and what you're doing in your business.